Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session where we will try and provide you with as much information as we possibly can, and to also respond to your questions and queries about our program, Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Data Privacy Protection. We are glad to have you here with us today. We know you have choices, and so the fact that you're here means that you are interested in what we have to offer at UCC. So we thank you for your time in coming to share with us. I will ask the other members of the team to introduce themselves, so at least you all know. And then I'll ask you all to introduce yourselves to us. Mrs. Bard, can we start with you?
Yes. Hi, afternoon, everyone. I am Diane Boyd. I work in the College of Graduate Studies and Research as the director in charge of administration and student services. And we have a team of 4 or 5 other persons, coordinators, and admin assistants that are here to support you as you do your program.
Ocean Osborne, Head of IT in the School of Mathematics, Science, and Technology.
Dr. Indasho?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I'm Peter Ndaja. I'm the Dean for the School of Math, Science, and Technology.
Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you, colleagues. As I said, I would just like to welcome you all and to, feel free. We're here to provide all the information and to respond to all your questions that you might have about the program. And so without further delay, I'm going to ask Mrs. Boyd to give us an overview of the college. Then Mr. Osborne and Dr. Indasho will provide you with the information about the program. So, Mrs. Boyd?
Thank you, Dr. Sutherland. So, the College of Graduate Studies and Research is the repository of all graduate programs at UCC. This is where we provide postgraduate education for adult learners via multiple platforms and modalities. And in collaboration with the School of Mathematics and IT, we deliver this MSc in cybersecurity and data privacy protection. So what is our role? What do we do? Well, clearly, Mr. Osborne and Dr. Ndaja, they are the academic experts, and we are the administrative side. So our role is to provide administrative support for both students and facilitators in the following areas. So once you are accepted and you have agreed to join the program, we start right away because we have ongoing enrollment. So that means you can join the program at any time. And what we do is that we provide the orientation and the onboarding for you. We assist you with registration on the student management system. And that means we help to, help you to liaise with student financial services and the registry that will, help you with the processes for registration. Then, of course, there's the enrollment on the platform, the learning management system, which we use here, which is Moodle. And we help to liaise with the online department and help you to get enrolled there as well. When it comes on to your final to get registered and ensure that you're able to do your final assessments, we also provide support for that. Throughout your program, we will provide advisement to help you to complete the program. The program is what we call a lockstep program, and it's cohort based. So once you come in the program, you are assigned to a cohort of students. So you're not going it alone. You will join a cohort of other students whenever you come in. We are now at cohort 3. So you can join cohort 3, or if you're not ready, you can join cohort 4 when cohort 4 comes on stream. And lockstep means that you just take one course at a time for 5 weeks on an ongoing basis until you complete all 14 courses in the program. We also help to facilitate other administrative procedures. For example, if you need to take a leave of absence for whatever reason, if you miss an exam and you have to do an alternate exam, and even to assist you to get once you finish, you get hooked up with the registry for graduation. Those are the things that we help with. If you're out of town or if you're off the island, we also assist with you getting access to whatever platforms or processes that you need to get access to in order to complete your courses. So that's it for now. That's it in a nutshell, a very small nutshell. And so once you come on board, then we'll have a more robust orientation and onboarding session for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Boyd. I think Mrs. Buchanan-Morris, are you able?
Yes,
You
I
have a better
am back.
connection.
I am
Okay,
back.
great.
Unfortunately, though, I don't have a camera on this system, so I do apologize for that in advance. But thank you so much, Dr. Sutherland. We're gonna now hand over to Mr. Osborne.
Okay, good afternoon. Hello, prospective MSc students. As I said earlier, I am Osborne, head of IT. The Department of IT through the School of Math, Science, and Technology has oversight for the MSc in data privacy protection, in cybersecurity and data privacy protection. All right, so as an overview of the program, so as you are aware, in the area of the field of cybersecurity and data privacy protection become critical in today's world. So when you look at the majority of that, a majority of information is digitized, and a lot of persons, not only organizations, but individuals are storing and sharing data online and using all types of devices, including IoT devices, including smart devices, which would include microwaves as well as refrigerators. So a lot of these technologies have become smart. They're connected to the internet and they're sharing personal data. Now, the MSc program will deliver practical knowledge and help you to develop technical and problem-solving skills. You also have a rich intellectual experience in courses that are cybersecurity related, privacy related, and trust related. Now, what are the different career paths that you can pursue after completing this master's degree? They include data privacy or protection officer. You need to be mindful, if you don't already know, that a data privacy officer has greater responsibilities, including developing privacy policies. All right. You're also able to venture into roles as information system risk manager, CISO, which is a Chief Information Security Officer, cyber risk analyst, as well as a blockchain analyst, to name a few. Our courses are linked to industry certifications, which include EC Council, which is one of the largest cybersecurity technical certification body, ISC2, which is the International Information Systems Security Certification Consortium, as well as ISACA, which is Information Systems Audit and Control Association. Now, just to give you an overview of some of the courses, you have one of your first, well, not your first, but usually the first course in the program is the Information Systems Security Professional, which is linked to the CISSP certification exam by ISC2. We'll go through risk security planning and risk analysis. Of course, we cannot overlook that you need to be able to assess the cybersecurity ethical legal concerns that may exist. And persons are working with data that are confidential, that are also trademark secret, just to name a few. So, through the course, Advanced Privacy and Data Protection. Now, this course especially is required for persons who already possess a foundational knowledge of privacy and data protection. And I'll speak in a little while about the prerequisites that are required if the courses that you have previously completed do not include adequate coverage of data privacy and protection and cybersecurity essentials and fundamentals. You'll also go through courses such as ethical hacking and countermeasures, malware analysis and defense, and offensive cybersecurity. And lastly, your capstone project is broken into two components. And each capstone project, so you have capstone 1 and capstone 2, each is done over 2 cycles. So when you register for capstone 1, you'll again, in 1 cycle, you would have to register again for the same capstone project, of course, in the subsequent cycle. All right? So in these capstone courses, you have to complete in-depth research on topics surrounding cybersecurity and data privacy protection. And this could even include analysis and improvement or optimization of cybersecurity strategies using artificial intelligence. You also have the opportunity to present your research at our annual research conference in September of each year. Will also, your research will also be, selected research will also be published in our research journal, as well as we actively seek opportunities for your research to be published in international peer-reviewed journals. So you're coming out of the program as researchers, published researchers. Now, regarding the prerequisites, I mentioned that you would need to, especially for the data privacy, advanced data privacy and protection, that you would need to complete the courses if you have not done similar course in your previous studies. So one of the first course that we require you to do is a certified in cybersecurity certificate course or certification course rather. Okay? This is offered by ISC2 and it is free of cost. That is a prerequisite before you can begin your first course in the MSc program. If you have not done any cybersecurity related courses previous studies. One of the other courses that you're required to do is that the Data Governance Fundamentals course, where you learn about data privacy and principles and data protection strategies. This is offered by Data Camp, and for a small subscription for just the duration of the course, which is a month. Well, the course is less than a month, but you would have to purchase a month subscription, which is $29 last time I checked. That course is just over 3 hours duration. Finally, to ensure that you have proper grounding in cybersecurity, you're also required to do the endpoint security course, which is offered through Cisco's Networking Academy. And that course is free. The duration of that course is 27 hours. Now, as a entry requirement, of course, you should have a degree in information technology, cybersecurity, computer science, or any related field. Of course, you must have at least 3 years working experience. Okay. At least 3 years working experience. Of course, you would have also been told, already advised by Mrs. Buchanan-Morris about your statement of purpose and so on. Okay, why you should be considered for the MSc, enrolled MSc. I am seeing a hand, but is it time for question and answer? No. All right, so I think that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Osborne, for such detailed overview of the program and its academic structure. Of course, you do understand the importance of understanding the curriculum and why it is important to, know what it is that you're getting into before becoming a part of this program. So thank you so much. I am going to now hand over to Dr. Ndage, who is the Dean of the School of Mathematics, Science, and Technology.
Thank you, Mrs. Buchanan-Morris. So can I share Am I allowed to share? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I am. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I just want to talk briefly on the importance of data protection, basically about cybersecurity and where we're going with it going forward, especially as we progress into the 21st century. And then I will speak briefly about what we expect to see from our students coming out of this program, so you can know exactly what you're expected to deliver, right? So first of all, this course is not about just going through some courses and getting a certificate. We want you to be creators of new tools in cybersecurity. That's the goal. And as the head of department had said earlier, you're also expected to present at least one paper in a conference. So you'll find that in the capstone, you'll be required to write a paper for either a conference or a journal. But not to worry, we have capable people that are going to guide you through that process. The reason is that when you write a paper, it shows that you have original ideas that you can discuss with the world. So we want to elevate your maturity in the field of cybersecurity to a point where you can define solutions that do not exist already. And that's what we like to see at the end of the program. All right, so as I was listening to all of you introducing yourselves, it appears to me that most of you are already working in the field of cybersecurity, So you know how important data is, you know how that asset is valued. Many companies are scampering for data all over the world, and whether we like it or not, our data is going into places we may not even think it can go. So more and more as we go into the future, data is going to become quite strategic in so many things that we do. Okay, as you know, it is already driving economies. The whole of the digital information space is generating data every day. And so data has now become a source of power. It's also a source of opportunity, and it's also a risk. Because if your data falls into the wrong hands, then you're in serious trouble. So across the board, what we expect you to do with this degree is that you would have had the kind of training that will allow you to understand and use the power of data to find opportunities, new opportunities using data, and understand the risk of losing data or letting data get into the wrong hands, and therefore you'll be able to develop the right tools to protect data. All right, so we live in a digital world. All of us are very conversant with cloud computing or are about to become conversant. We understand mobile banking. We are seeing AI and machine learning, algorithms doing wonders, through especially generative AI. We are seeing data used in the Internet of Things. There are cities now that are becoming smart cities. Okay, so everything is becoming digitized. I just put up this picture just to let you know how interconnected the world is. Most times, we don't really see the hardware that connects us. So some of these lines, the colored lines you see between the little circles, are actually fiber optic cables running all across the world. And these are millions of kilometers of fiber optic cables that have been laid which actually brings the internet to us, right? So if you want to get from any point A to another point B in the world, you will be able to, because there are a lot of gateways that will get you there. All right, so why is data protection so critical, right? First of all, we need to be able to protect data because we want to protect our personal privacy. I've seen where tapes have leaked, data has leaked to the internet, and the consequences have been very devastating, right? We want to be able to maintain trust because if you have your account in the bank and your account is hacked, you will stop trusting that bank, for example. Okay? We want to ensure regulatory compliance, and that's what this course is going to give you to be able to make your companies or your clients to be compliant with data protection laws, right? Going further, protecting data is important for national security. I don't want to start going into all the facets of that. We know the danger of losing state secrets to foreign powers. Yeah, it puts you in a very vulnerable position, and the lives of your citizens are at stake. Okay. Lastly, it will protect your organizational reputation. If it is known that your organization frequently loses the data that they have to criminals, that organization in the 21st century is likely going to fold out. So this is very, very critical that we learn how to protect data. And it is my hope that this course, as you go through the course, you will learn, you will go through everything that you need to, you will do everything that you need to do to learn, to practice, the art of data protection. All right, so it's in every sector, as you know, banking, healthcare, government, education, data is everywhere. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Now we've come to the era of data protection laws. You can see, for example, the GDPR is a European version of what we call the Data Protection Act in Jamaica. And many, many other countries have their own laws now. Unfortunately, the laws are coming a bit late, but better late than never. So we will move into an era where data protection laws will become the norm of the day, like it is happening now. I think there was an order from the government of Jamaica about 1 or 2 years ago, I'm not sure, that all organizations must have data protection officers. So probably some of you on this call are data protection officers in some companies. So we are moving into an era where data becomes everything, right? So what are the threats that you will learn about or you will come across in today's world? Well, I'm going to name, I just named a few here, things like ransomware, phishing, cloud vulnerabilities, AI-driven cyber attacks. And this is one particular point where I think this course is going to help because the past students have developed AI-driven cybersecurity solutions, right? And I'm hoping that you will be able to combine AI and your knowledge of cybersecurity to develop new solutions. Like I said earlier, what we expect from you is the ability to develop new solutions. All right, so what happens when protection fails? It's very devastating as far as I can tell. There will be financial penalties. You can cause irreparable damage to your reputation. You might find yourself shutting down operations. Of course, more than likely you're going to have legal consequences as a result. So what does this all mean? It means that if you have a business and you fail to protect your data, that business is likely to fail. Okay, that's the long and short of the story. All right, so we here just outlined just some of the future risks that we'll find in the digital environment. Okay, so vulnerabilities, for example, in your cybersecurity infrastructure can be detected, and you can get an attack purely based on AI and some automation tools. Okay, there is the danger of misusing biometric data, surveillance technologies, cyber warfare, and last, I want to talk about quantum computing. If quantum computing becomes a reality, let me emphasize that if it becomes a reality, then a lot of the cryptographic algorithms that we have now are going to fail. Okay? They will fail. And if they fail, it means that our data has no protection. So these are risks that are coming on the horizon that you need to begin to think about, because now you're graduate students and you'll be expected to develop new solutions for these future risks. So as you all know, I'm sure you would have done some research. The global demand for cybersecurity professionals is exploding. I don't think that we have satisfied half of the demand in the world. Okay, there is a severe global shortage of cybersecurity professionals, and because of that, salaries are rising. Okay, governments are putting regulations into place, so enterprises are under immense regulatory pressure, and so they need cybersecurity professionals, and they're not able to find because it's in very short supply. So this program will offer you that opportunity to present yourself for better opportunities. I don't know where you're working, but the opportunities, I'm sure that the opportunities are going to explode. Okay. All right. So there is also executive level demand for security leadership. I'm sure that the HOD has spoken a little about that. For example, the CISSP, for example, is a very good certification to have for leadership in security, in cybersecurity. All right. So what do you need? What tools do you need to master to become a well-rounded cybersecurity expert? First, you have to understand the subject of cryptography, all right? Network security, ethical hacking, digital forensics, and be able to secure systems, design security systems for organizations, just to name a few, all right? So beyond technology, you will need to learn about data protection legislation, compliance frameworks, privacy impact assessments, incident report planning, and generally governance and risk compliance for your organization. Okay, so these are some of the career opportunities. You can become a cybersecurity analyst, data protection officers. I think I heard one or two people say they're data protection officers already. Okay, you can be a security architect, and there are many platforms that will help you do that. All right, and there are others like the chief information security officer. You will see a lot of these posts advertised, and there are many more, just to name a few here. So like I said earlier on, the the market for cybersecurity professionals is quite large. Okay, so be part of the digital defense. We needed to be able to protect data, protect our institutions, societies, and lead the future of cybersecurity. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well said, well said. Thank you so much, Dr. Indaja, for emphasizing, of course, the importance of data protection in today's world. This presentation has really opened my eyes somewhat to the demands of cybersecurity and where it is going. So thank you so much for such thorough and insightful presentation. I'm just going to jump into the next segment of the presentation where I will be looking briefly at the admission requirements and the application process for the MSc here at UCC. Introduced myself earlier. I am Claudia Buchanan-Morris, and I'm the Recruitment and Enrollment Supervisor here at UCC, as well as I am the Graduate Recruitment Advisor for our graduate programs. So the head of school, Mr. Osborne, would have already touched somewhat on the entry requirements for the MSc in cybersecurity. Of course, while we do prefer for persons to have some background in information technology or computer science, the opportunity is also there for you to become enrolled in the program without, let's say, a certificate in IT or a diploma degree in IT. However, if you are an applicant without such background, you will be required to do a number of prerequisites, which Dr. Osborne would have already spoke about earlier. GPA here must be a minimum of 2.5, and as mentioned earlier, for candidates who do not have an IT-related degree, you will be required to complete 3 prerequisite courses. Here is a list of the courses that you will be required to do. The IC2 Certificate in Cybersecurity certification course, the Endpoint Security and Data Governance Fundamental track. For the person who is online who was asking before, you can take note, as well as I will provide you with my email address so that you can, and contact details so that you can reach out to me. I can send you some additional information via email as well. Of course, we do require an application, and the application is done online. Along with the application, you will be required to provide two references, one of which is an academic or professional reference, and the other is your character reference. Now, we do not use reference letters. We are provided with specific reference forms, and you're guided as to the professionals who are supposed to complete those references. A passport-size photograph, detailed resume, your statement of purpose. Prospective students are usually provided with a guideline as to how to put their statement of purpose together. And of course, you must affix a date and signature before submission of the SOP. Copy of your birth certificate and all academic certifications, along with your official transcripts. There are some documents that must be either verified or notarized before submission, which would include your academic certificates and your birth certificate. Of course, those have to be notarized by either, a JP, attorney at law. In the event that you're not able to get them notarized, then you can submit copies and originals to the office, and an advisor or an officer here will verify them for you. Application is submitted online, as was mentioned earlier. You can just hop on over to our website, ucc.edu.jm, or Usually you are provided with a direct link. Once you make contact with an advisor, you're provided with a direct link to complete the application. The documents mentioned earlier can be uploaded on the application portal, or if you're having any challenges, you can email them directly to the advisor. However, do once again bear in mind that they must be verified or notarized before doing so. Once we receive all the required documents, your application is reviewed and processed by the admissions department, and this typically takes between 7 to 10 business days. Once the review is completed and you're given the acceptance letter, there are a number of instructions and attachments that will be a part of the acceptance package. And one of them, of course, will be how to get you started setting up your student management system or your student platform, which is our Orion system, which we use here at UCC, as well as you will be required to pay the registration fee or commitment fee, which would include your tuition deposit of $250 US and your miscellaneous fee of $20,000. When converted today, that's about roughly 61,000. So this fee is considered to be a registration fee and it must be paid before you're enrolled into classes. There are payment plans available for those persons who are interested. You can send me an email or we can discuss some more about that later on. Once you complete registration, you are enrolled onto our student management system and enrolled in your classes. The current cost of the program is $9,500 USD. And as mentioned earlier, here is a view of what the payment plan looks like. You are able to pay quarterly or annually, sorry, and that is our current exchange rate. Now, as was mentioned earlier, we do have quite a few intake periods for the cybersecurity and data privacy protection program. So we do have quite a few intake periods coming around. All right, so that's pretty much it for the application and admission process. Thank you so much for your attention. You may go ahead and screenshot my contact details and we can talk some more about how we can get you started into this program. I just want to extend thank you to those who have taken the time out to join us this afternoon, and I'm going to now hand over to Dr. Sutherland to provide a closing remarks and next step.
Thank you, Mrs. Buchanan-Morris, and thank you also, colleagues, for your insightful information. And I'm sure that our participants have had quite a bit to chew on. So we know that all the questions may not come to you right now. So one of the things we want to make sure that you have Mrs. Buchanan-Morris's contact information. So if you need any additional information, please do not hesitate to contact her so that you can get whatever it is that you need.
I just want to mention to the prospective students that to be a good computer professionals, you need to have the right kind of equipment. I'm not going to go into describing what kind of equipment you need, but just bear it in mind, and you can discuss with the head of department, for example, to help you with the right kind of, when I say equipment, I think you know what I mean. I don't want to go into details. To do this job very well, you cannot just use any laptop. Okay? But take advice from the head of department. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Ndazwa. That's very important. So make sure that you contact Mr. Osborne if you need any additional information as to what equipment you might need so you can successfully complete your program. Okay, so I think with that, we've come to the end of the session. I want to really thank you again for coming, and we have an excellent program at UCC. I know you're still trying to make the decision, but we welcome you. Thank you again.